Wow, can you believe how time is passing by so fast? I can't. But it is about that time to be able to hit all the other components that you need for a fully functioning aquaponics system. Now, just as a reminder, ThatAquaponicsGuy.com has everything that you're going to need for your own system. We have you covered. Get yourself started on your own path of food reliance with getting your aquaponics system in place. And by building one from scratch, from the ground up, you're not only going to be able to learn how a system works, but also how to run it. Keep in mind that we are developing our own 3D Desktop Aquaponics Kit. That will be coming to you within the next, knock on wood, month or so. We are working with the 3D design printers to be able to get that to you, and we will have that in our shopping cart as soon as possible. Lastly, we have our second combo coming out. And if you haven't seen our first, take a look at the links up there. We're currently writing and compiling what we have called the Healthy Bushcraft, which is our medic and our health pocket guide, as well as our actual aquaponics guide that's coming out to you very shortly. Okay, so I don't know if that actually counts as a commercial. Well, let's get on to the next component that we have on the agenda, which is the clarifiers. Now, you are seeing on your screen here some examples of what a clarifier actually is in an aquaponics ecosystem. In a larger system with a good number of fish, it is the first reservoir that the water goes to after it leaves the fish tank. As you can see, that the more solid particles in the water are heavier and will settle into the bottom of the container being used. That is sloughed off into another use, either direct fertilizer for soil-based farming, and or just disposed of altogether. A clarifier is a great thing to have so that the muck and scum that accompanies the solids from the fish don't get into the rest of your system, which could mess with your bacteria balances and crap up the rest of your system. Pun intended. However, for those smaller systems that are using the smaller size fish, the goldfish or equivalents, won't be seeing a clarifier on them. For example, our homemade kit as well as our desktop kit will not be accompanied by a clarifier. Why is that? Because the solids that are coming from those little fishies are not going to be that much of a factor in the system, like it would be for tilapia or trout or catfish for those larger systems that are built. So until you get into that higher volume system, get to that point, you don't need to worry about the clarifiers. We will, nonetheless, have more information upon them, how to be able to set one up and how to incorporate it into your system with our future articles and videos. With such exciting information about clarifiers, next is the biofilters. Hey, take the time right now, and if you haven't already, to push that subscribe button down there and get that all alerts icon smashed. Now we're on to biofilters. Woohoo! Yeah. Let the graphics roll. As you are seeing here, you have the different versions of a biofilter in an aquaponics system of various sizes. While you are flipping through these, you will see there are some common components. You have the pipe coming in from the fish tank that pumps and dumps into a meshed basket with plastic dowels that the solids will cling to and keep them from moving on to the grow beds. Like the clarifier, the biofilter is needed for larger systems with larger fish. For those who are indoor or desktop systems, there isn't too much of a need for the biofilter with smaller fishies. This brings us to the monitors and the monitoring systems. For our intents and purposes here, we are going to be talking about three types. The first are the meters for the pH levels in the water. Your whole aquaponics ecosystem is a work of balance, of having enough water for the grow beds, the nitrites and nitrates, and for our purposes here, the pH balance between acidic and alkaline levels of the water. You get too far one way and you kill the fish, and too far the other and you will kill the bacteria and the plants. You need to keep your pH levels balanced between 6.5 to 7.5 on the pH scale. And any input into that system can affect that water's pH levels. So as you're adding fish food to the system on a near daily basis, you will need to keep a close eye on all of it. In our shop on the website, ThatAquaponicsGuy.com, we have one ready for you, with the kits to keep clean the meters you are using to do the task. And you can find the link of that right here. As long as we are monitoring the levels, we also need to keep a close eye on the water temperature. Now, if you have your system indoors, or in a place that temps don't fluctuate much at all, this is not a huge consideration. But if your system is outside or susceptible to temperatures highs and lows, then you need to have a monitor on that puppy. Again, we have several options for your system on our tag catalog to be able to have the most simplest of temp monitors to a very robust system that alerts you to the parameters you have set it to be for the system. And the link is found here. In our shop on the website, ThatAquaponicsGuy.com, we have one ready for you. In fact, we have a couple that you can choose from. And if you're wanting to get that right now, you can click on the link right up there. Hey! Now, the last thing we want to cover here is not necessarily a monitor or a meter, but a timer. We've been able to figure out a way to automate your aquaponics system. Once you've got everything set up and you're cycling right through the pH levels and your levels of bacteria, you're going to need to be able to bring that water from the fish tank into your grow beds. We have timers that will be able to turn the water pumps on and off for you to be able to do just that. And with the bell siphons in place, bringing the water back from those grow beds, you have that automated system. And I hate to sound like a broken record, but the one we recommend for you to be able to get is at the link right there. All right, we're going to stop all this excitement right about here. But there are a few more things that we need to talk about in our next video concerning the outdoor aspect of a system. For example, your heater or your air conditioning unit that you're going to need to have for those temperature fluctuations in your area. And with that power draw, the generator, solar or otherwise, that you will need to install. Lastly, we're going to need to be able to talk about the fish, what you're going to need, whether it's goldfish or otherwise. Couple that with the seedling system that you need to put in place to fill those grow beds of yours. But remember, if you are prepared, you shall not fear. Godspeed, and God bless.